Hey Unbox fam, we're here in beautiful Bali, Indonesia for the launch of this phone right here, the POCO F8 series. I'm gonna hide from the sun now. Yep, it hasn't even been a year since they launched the POCO F7 and we have a new flagship killer from POCO and I'm all for it. Now, if you look at the exterior, some might say that it might look gimmicky, but honestly, all the additions are very much welcome and I think they've addressed some of my biggest pain points with their devices. But first, we have to talk about design because it is very unique. While POCO has gone with a glass back and aluminum frame in a stunning yellow for the POCO F7 Ultra, they've given the F8 Ultra the denim treatment, which is a bit of a statement. It definitely gives the phone a unique look and feel because it does kind of feel like the actual material, plus it was something I wasn't expecting to see on a device, but then again, we do have faux leather on our phone, so why not denim? It's not gonna be for everyone, myself included, probably the elder millennial in me, which is why I'm glad that the POCO F8 Ultra also comes in a much plainer, more classic black. Now the POCO F8, the base version, does have some pretty cool colors, which I wish made its way to the Ultra series. In terms of feel and handling though, I can't complain. It feels incredibly solid in the hand, but I do find it a bit thick. The frame is flat, but there is a curved transition between the back and the sides, so it doesn't bite into your hand while holding it, which is always good. As for button and port placement, you have the power button and volume rocker on the right side, and you'll find the SIM tray and USB-C port on the bottom, plus one of the two main speakers with the other one on top. This gives me a nice little segue to one of the main features of the POCO F8 Ultra. It's a 2.1 stereo speaker system tuned by Bose. Now, people might think that it's a bit of a gimmick to put a subwoofer that small on a phone, but it honestly surprised me when I first fired it up. You get a much more well-rounded sound thanks to the additional kick the F8 Ultra gives off. Now, here's a bit of a sound test that honestly doesn't do it justice. Actually, my main concern with the speakers don't have to do with the speakers at all. It's with the people who use their phone at full blast in public spaces. So if you get the POCO F8 Ultra, please don't be one of those people who will scroll through their TikTok feeds at full blast in the MRT. Actually, even if you decide not to get this phone, please don't be one of those people. Speaking of watching videos on your phone, the screen on the POCO F8 Ultra is also flagship level-ish. It measures in at 6.9 inches, it uses an AMOLED panel, has a peak brightness of 3500 nits and 120Hz refresh rate, so it almost checks all the boxes. The only thing is that it uses an LTPS panel versus an LTPO panel. This means that you aren't getting the same level of power efficiency as the latter, but it isn't too bad. Aside from that, you get all the usual HDR10+, Dolby Vision, and a wide color gamut, so you can really enjoy watching content on this paired with the amazing speakers. And of course, since this is a POCO flagship killer, you can expect this to be a powerhouse, and it really is. Under the hood, you've got the latest flagship processor of choice in the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, which has been paired with a generous 16GB of RAM and 512GB for our review unit. Looking at the benchmark scores, it blows its predecessor out of the water and is on par with the only other SD8 Elite Gen 5 equipped phone we've tested so far, the OnePlus 15. So if you really want top-notch performance, this is gonna be a good choice for you. Now, I did notice it got a bit warmer after running our benchmark test, so if you tend to play for longer gaming sessions, it will get hotter, but not to the point that it will be unusable, just something you have to take note of. One of my biggest gripes with POCO has always been their OS, and thankfully a lot has changed with HyperOS 3. There was very little bloatware on the phone, plus I haven't been hit by a single ad, so thank you Xiaomi and POCO for listening to all of our feedback. So another area where POCO used to compromise, in my opinion, was with their cameras, and with the F8 Ultra, they really stepped up the game, and we're here at the GWK Cultural Center to test them out and show you guys. But before that, just a quick rundown of the specs. All of the three cameras on the POCO F8 Ultra are at 50 megapixels, and I believe that the main one has the same sensor as the Xiaomi 17. Now let's get to the samples. For context though, I do have exposure compensation at -0.7 and I do have the negative film filter turned on because I like the way it looks. So something that you might notice off the bat is that the difference between the ultra-wide camera and the main camera, the field of view, isn't that huge. Just a reminder, it's 0.7x versus the 1x, so there definitely isn't going to be that much of a difference. If I'm going to be nitpicking, that is a bit of a con, but it's not a huge con. It's not a deal breaker. Something that we're also noticing is that there is a fair bit of post-processing going on. Not really a surprise, but you will see it more the more you zoom in and go past the 5x optical zoom. Aside from that though, there's a decent amount of details. The colors are punchy. Colors don't seem too far off from each of the cameras, so I'll take that as a good sign. Low light performance is really good as well with very minimal noise, and I'm really glad that POCO is starting to put more focus into their cameras to make the F series more of an all-arounder rather than just being pure muscle. For video, the rear cameras can shoot up to a maximum of 8K, but I do suggest keeping it to 4K. The stabilization was really good. Even in low light when I was walking through the airport when we arrived, this should definitely be more than enough for posting on socials. While I'm up here, might as well show you guys the video quality from the front camera of the POCO F8 Ultra. It does go all the way up to 4K 30 for those of you who are wondering. I'm going to be walking around and showing you guys stabilization, so let's cut to that right now. Okay, quick stabilization test while I'm walking down from Plaza Garuda, and I've seen samples already and I know it's pretty stable, and so far it is handling exposure pretty well. So front cameras on the POCO F8 Ultra, pretty good. So in terms of battery life, the POCO F8 Ultra looks like it's gonna be a 2-day phone. At least for me, I started the day 10 a.m. with 100% and it's now 4 p.m. and I'm only at 70%. So for me, as a moderate user, it's a 2-day phone. It has a 6,500 milliamp hour battery that also supports 100-watt wired charging and 50-watt wireless charging. And in our battery benchmark, this clocked in at nearly 23 hours. So I guess the question to wrap everything up is the POCO F8 Ultra worth it? If you prioritize power above all else, it should definitely be on your radar, especially when you look at the early bird pricing, which is $37,999. Even without the intro pricing, the POCO F8 Ultra will definitely be the most affordable, or one of the most affordable devices that has an SD8 Elite Gen 5. It's what they've always been known for, and I think will always be known for. And I'm really happy that they addressed a lot of my pain points I had with their past devices. So it's not just some gimmicky version of a flagship killer, because all the additions that they made to the POCO F8 Ultra really made a huge difference. So I would say that it is worth it, or at least looking into it, which by the way, you can check out through our YouTube shopping link on the corner of the screen. But let me know what you guys think about the POCO F8 Ultra. That's pretty much it for this video. My name is Tito James. Peace, God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next one.